All right, guys. Like video after a while, you know, I've wanted to make this video about it like for the longest time, and I've kind of gathered my thoughts about it. People continue saying that single men are not as happy as single women, and this is mainly because women are better at making networks. Women are better at maintaining, the typical normie red pill midwit excuses that they have, and I think that part of the reason that this isn't effectively countered as well is our guys here as well. They give out these half answers. Of course, it is true that those women have higher access to casual sex. And women wouldn't admit this. You point this out to them, they will be like, oh, it is not that, it is not that. Women can't have this, can't have that. Women just don't want casual sex. They want emotional intimacy. The reality is, they get ample prospects of emotional intimacy from men who are around their looks level that they don't care about. They on some level know that they are worthy of emotional intimacy from at least someone, and they on some level know that they are capable of being, at least even if it is for one night stands, from the best looking men. They're capable of that. The problem is, let's say we had the same problem. We knew that we can have short-term relationships with unattractive women, and cannot have short-term relationships with attractive women. Then we would often choose that. It is fine than having nothing at all. Even though it is much better, and it is even more better, it is even more better if we can have long-term relationships with an attractive woman than any of these. But the ultimate problem is, single men are not some group which just sits around like retards, not doing anything and they're just retarded enough to not form any friendships. They are essentially the group which is struggling and trying the hardest in order to get into a relationship. That what they have to, or even any kind of access to sex, is they have to cut out all the time that they spend with friends. And we all know that guys have a mode of socialization which involves shared hobbies, shared activities, which are constantly presented as counterproductive to your ability to get into a relationship. As an average man, I wouldn't say as a man, as an average man, if you are Chad and you play 4 hours of video games every day, that is fine. That is fine. Women wouldn't care. But for you to be useful otherwise, you cannot have those kinds of hobbies. You cannot just go out and play and shit. Conversely, not only is it true that most women don't need to improve to the point that they will be given access to emotional intimacy by some men and sexual access by the top tier men. The thing further is, even when it gets to the point of a relationship, even when it gets to the point of a marriage, what women usually choose is and this is, they will say, oh, women take a hit to their careers. No, women don't want to take on the responsibility of 40-hour work weeks outside over not getting to be with their child. Women choose, when they have a child, they choose to stay back at home with their kids instead of working 40-hour work weeks that the guys do. This is unfortunately what people will not tell you. And like, this is blatantly obvious on paper, but this is something that people act like just doesn't exist. Regardless, also those kinds of marriages which do tend to materialize have higher divorce rates anyways. The second thing is, Women's hobbies are mostly something that they can manage with the kind of roles that they take up. They can gossip when they stay at home, when they're taking care of kids. We cannot go out and play basketball or cricket, wherever, depending on which part of the world, or football with our homies while sitting and grinding in an office, right? We don't have that option to socialize and emotionally connect with our friends after we are, when we are doing that. More importantly, our hobbies are a lot more physical. We don't have the physical ability to do those. Women already do physically less demanding jobs. I wouldn't discredit their labor, but they are by definition, on average, lower on the labor profile, physical intensity profile. And their hobbies are also physically lower intensity profile. So they get married, they have kids, they can maintain their hobbies, they can maintain their friends. We can't do that. And we already cannot do that when we are trying to get into a relationship. Women already have access to that. It is not as easy as they regularly get to have sex and therefore they are feeling better. The problem is, in order to have sex at all, guys have to give up what they already have. And especially after marriages, it sucks even more.